Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with Georgia Gun Owners. A lot of you have reached out to the office over the last couple of days about the article in the Atlanta Journal-Constipation about Attorney General and gubernatorial candidate Chris Carr and his current legal battle to prevent 18 to 20-year-old Georgians from having the option to carry a handgun for self-defense. If you missed the story, guys, don't worry. We're going to bring you up to speed here in today's video. So, current Georgia law makes it a crime for any Georgian under 21 to carry a handgun. That includes 20-year-old adults who live on their own. It's total BS. It's totally unconstitutional, and it violates the Supreme Court's Bruin decision from 3 years ago, which says all gun control laws, current and future, have to show historical precedent as part of trying to prove they're constitutional. What does that mean? It means there needs to be an example of a similar gun control law on the books in America in the 1700s as part of proving these laws today are constitutional. And we all know there's no history in the 1700s of Americans telling 20-year-olds you cannot have a firearm. So here in Georgia, 18-year-old Stephen Thomas, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. Thomas Stevens has sued to overturn current Georgia law that forces him to be 21 before he can carry a firearm. And he has no choice. The legislature is too weak to fix this, so he has no other option. We fully support the lawsuit. We wish Mr. Thomas nothing but the best as he fights to overturn this. Now, Chris Carr, as Attorney General, he has a couple of options. What he could have done is stepped up to the plate in a big way and fought for gun rights by submitting a brief to the court saying, this current law is unconstitutional, I believe it's immoral, and I will not allow my office to defend it. If an 18-year-old here in Georgia can fight and possibly die for their country, if a 20-year-old here in Georgia can pay taxes and have a career and live on their own, they can certainly possess a Glock 9 for self-defense. He could have simply said that and refused to defend the law. There are many examples of attorneys general doing this across the country, including right here in Georgia. He did not have to defend this current law. Instead, what is Chris Carr doing? This guy's going all in, trying to defend this current gun control law. And I read some of the quotes from the written brief that Carr submitted to the state Supreme Court as he prepares to defend this case. One of his quotes, it's going to make you mad. He says, it's perfectly reasonable for the legislature to believe that younger people are less likely to responsibly carry handguns in public. Is it though, Chris? Is it though? If you said it's reasonable to expect that criminals are less likely to be responsible, we'd believe you there. But you're telling us with a straight face that an 18, 19, and 20-year-old who, again, can fight and die for their country does not have the temperament, the ability, the responsibility to carry a firearm here in Georgia? That's total BS. Then he goes on to say, allowing 18-year-olds to carry handguns on or in their property, but not in public, does not come close, he says, doesn't come close to destroying the right to keep and bear arms. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's okay in Chris Carr's mind to tell the 20-year-old woman who wants to have a handgun when she's out in public to guard against a sexual assault that she can't have a gun. It's okay to tell a 19-year-old who moves out, gets his own apartment, yeah, you can't carry in public because you're simply lacking in age. Really, Chris? Folks, the truth is, this is frankly the kind of weakness that we've all come to expect from Chris Carr when it comes to the Second Amendment. The guy has been the Attorney General for 10 years. What has he ever done? What has he ever done for gun rights? If you have an answer to this question, we're not being rhetorical. Comment in the comment section below and you tell us, when have you ever heard of Chris Carr fighting for gun owners here in Georgia? Because we've looked and we can't find anything. Here's what we do know. For 4 years, Joe Biden occupied the White House. It was a 4-year running battle to defend our gun rights against this madman tyrant. It was a fight in Congress. It was a fight in state capitals. And it was especially a battle in federal court. And if you've been engaged in this fight, you probably heard some of the names of the attorneys general who led this battle. Missouri Attorney General, for example, Andrew Bailey, became basically a household name, filing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit against Joe Biden. AG Chris Kobach in Kansas, Raul Labrador in Idaho, Ken Paxton from Texas. All of these guys and many, many more attorneys general fought like hell against the Biden administration in its attempts to crush our gun rights. They sued over pistol braces. They sued over what a firearms frame or receiver was. They sued over Biden's attempt to redefine what a firearms dealer was. The lawsuits just kept coming and coming and coming. And frankly, the victories kept coming and coming and coming because we had attorneys general in other states, not here, in other states, who stepped up to the plate and fought like hell for gun rights. Now, I believe one time, Chris Carr signed on to one of these lawsuits. But just so you know how this works, let's take the case of Andrew Bailey in Missouri. When he files a lawsuit like this, he allows every red state attorney general to have the option to add their name on the lawsuit. Usually he gets 25 to 30 plus attorneys general on these cases. So does the AG in Idaho. So does the AG in Kansas. So does the AG in Texas. And what it lets people like Chris Carr do is never actually do any of the work, but he adds his name on there as a last-minute afterthought for political purposes. Has anybody ever heard of Chris Carr filing a lawsuit against Joe Biden to defend our gun rights for the 4 years Joe Biden occupied the White House? Again, we've searched high and low. We've checked Google. We've checked Grok. We see nothing. We know of nothing. But he has plenty of time to go to court right now in our state Supreme Court and ensure that 20-year-olds cannot carry a handgun for self-defense. It's just enraging. It's just enraging. He holds himself out there now as a gubernatorial candidate, as a fighter. When has he fought? When has he fought? He's never done it. He's never done it. How about the Savannah situation? GGO members all know about Senate Bill 163, our bill this past session to fix the problem in Savannah, fix the problem in our preemption law. Georgia has a preemption law, and it says municipalities may not pass gun control that is more restrictive than what happens in Atlanta, what happens in the legislature. If they violate that law, they can face charges, and they can face a $100 civil fine. So as you guys all know, GGO fought like hell all session to increase that penalty to $50,000 to make sure that we had actual recourse to stop these cities. But you want to know how we got here? Last summer, when the Savannah mayor, Jones, or Van Johnson, when Van Johnson passed that ordinance in Savannah attacking gun owners locally, we tried to talk to the AG's office a long time to get him to engage. We finally had to reach out to our contacts in the Georgia Senate to say, hey, can you guys get this putz on the phone and have him issue a letter to Savannah reminding them that they have got to follow state law? It took forever to get it. And when it was done, it was the most tepid, mealy-mouthed, weak letter that we could have ever possibly not hoped to receive or not hoped to see from Chris Carr. It was weak. And what happened after the letter was submitted? What did the mayor in Savannah do? He did nothing. In fact, he taunted Chris Carr and gun owners openly, saying, "I'll see you in court." You see, he knew what we're all finding out now, that Chris Carr is his weakness when it comes to the fight for gun rights is limitless. and he's never fought to defend them. And so now we have mayors like Savannah openly taunting gun owners that we're going to come after you guys with local charges, even though state law says we can't do it. Why? Because Chris Carr, our attorney general, won't do a damn thing about it. So we did. Senator Moore did. We filed SB 163. We got that bill through the Senate. That bill died over in the House late last session. I mean, that's kind of a long story. The House passed it literally 2 hours, 3 hours before adjournment. There wasn't time in the Senate chamber for the bill to come up, and so the bill died. But, you know, we worked all session on this. Now, Chris Carr has a history of making statements in support or opposition to various bills in the legislature. You can look it up for yourself. Just Google it or type it in a grok. Did you ever see him make a statement in support of SB 163? For that matter, did you ever see him make a statement in support of constitutional carry? Have you ever seen him make a statement in support of our Second Amendment Preservation Act or enhanced stand your ground law or banning red flag gun seizures? This is the minimum. This is the minimum, Chris, and you've done nothing. You've done nothing. Now, folks, you may be asking, why are we telling you all this? Well, first of all, it's all over the news right now that Chris Carr is in the Supreme Court defending this current gun control law, defending the state's position that a 20-year-old cannot carry a firearm in public, despite the Constitution, despite Supreme Court precedent, and frankly, despite common sense. So that's one reason. The other reason, though, is I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of candidates for office telling gun owners how tough they are on the Second Amendment, only to see them do nothing for our gun rights once they are in office. Chris Carr has had a decade to stand up and defend our gun rights. 4 of those years when Joe Biden occupied the White House. And all he's done in that time, or almost all he's done in that time, is fight to uphold gun control. And that's something every gun owner needs to remember as Chris Carr seeks our vote to be our next governor. Hey guys, GGO is fighting hard to expand Second Amendment freedom to ensure our children's children have a right to keep and bear arms. Get involved in this fight today. Number 1, follow us on Twitter. Number 2, sign up for text alerts from us. And number 3, like and subscribe for more content.